Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to 2022. And as you can see, I am on my own at the moment. Because someone is running a bit late. He will be here though, so fear not. For those who would like to see Dom's face, he will be here as soon as he can. I think he's just getting the kids down. So just bear with me for a bit, unfortunately. But you know, we can talk about hopefully he say oh no from the other room. So I don't know, maybe some other people say that. I don't care. You got me, you're stuck with me, alright? Anyway, I can see a few people in chat already, so it is good to see all of you joining us here. I've just noticed my little images have disappeared for some reason, which I don't know why. I'm just going to I know exactly why actually. It's because I moved them. However, we'll leave that for now because I think I don't want to faff about with the stream too much. And besides, it's not that big of a deal to be honest. I'm just checking the other thing. Have we got? There we go. And I think actually, if I do shrink this back down again, it should sort itself out. But anyway, let's get your chats up. See who's here. We've got Peter. Welcome back, Peter. It's been a little while since we've seen you about. I'm glad you've rejoined us. So thank you for coming back into chat and coming to join this first stream of the year. Got Captain Jack. Welcome back. Another nice regular. I got Felpire, another regular. Got Vicky as well, who's sitting next door. I can't really say she's a regular because she hears this happen most Tuesdays. Got Azraphale. Hello. Dave's here, and hopefully a few more of you are. And as well, is he still hungover? He looks really rough in the. I don't know. I mean, I had my hungover day on Boxing Day after some late night drunken antics on my way home from my mum's. So I avoided New Year because I was on call, luckily. So first time I've said that for a while. So as is our usual, a little bit of format. What is everyone doing this evening? It'd be good, nice to hear what you guys are working on. We do have some news about the channel coming up in a bit, but I was going to wait for Dom to get here before I go through all that. We had just a little sum up. We had a little chat the other day, and we're going to lay out what we're planning to do this year, just so you guys understand where we're going with everything. There'll be a couple of little changes, nothing major, so nothing to worry about. We're not going away if that's what if that's what you think. So we've got some new challenges coming up as well, and all that kind of biz. So we'll go into a bit more detail of what we've got planned for that. And Peter, I don't know who's turning to do the blood sacrifice. I mean, you can pick someone in chat randomly if you want. Whether that happens or not is another question. Felpar says he is basing scarabs at the moment, almost done, and then it's painting immortals. Excellent. It's nice to see Felpar growing his army. He did come down just before Christmas for Vicky's birthday dinner, and we had I didn't have Vicky and him had a game while I watched on because they're both fairly new players. Obviously, I mean Vicky's a little bit she's a lot better now than she was when she first started, but Sam was pretty much of a new starter, so to speak. What else we got here? We got Peter. He's going to paint something and play Warframe. Fair enough. Whatever you want to do, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Just get on with it and enjoy yourself. Mr. Blue is painting 15mm trees and general cleanup of the hobby space. Yep, I can relate to that. I did a kind of preliminary clean this room, as you can see. I don't know if you can see behind. Oh, no, this way is better. These shelves are looking a bit empty, and just down here, I had a bit of a clean up of old books and things because I just need more space. And this room I've got is still a little bit messy, but I've basically we took about 5 or 6 bin bags of stuff out of the house in entirety this morning just to get it kind of cleared out of general stuff that we've kind of accumulated over the years that we just don't use or is broken, and we just sort of as you put it to one side and you don't get around to actually cleaning it up. So but yeah, we decided to crack on with that over the weekend before we went back to work today. Captain Jack is painting up his Redemptor and wondering why I don't do sub-assemblies. I don't know, the Redemptor's not too bad. I suppose you could leave the armor plating off, maybe. I mean, that's fairly easy to do, and you could. I mean, the arms come off quite nicely. Although I do find that once you put the shoulder guards on it, it's not quite as easy to rotate round and take off. Because I did try that with my one, but in the end, I was fairly happy with how mine turned out. And paint, as if I was doing paint and research for his Imperial Knight theme. Oh yeah, I see what you mean, theme for the Imperial Knight. Oh, nice. I'll be interested to see where you go with that as well. So he keeps updated on Discord as usual. And Peter says you said that no, you're gonna go where such and such. Whatever. I don't know. I say many things, whether they're English or understandable is up to you guys really. But yeah. So, as for myself, I am currently just trying to finish up some more of the Templar box set and some additional models that I bought. So I'm currently working on these two here. I've got my Marshal and the Lieutenant here, both with their nice shiny axes. I've decided to go with kind of red capes on these guys, but this one here, he's got technically two. He's going to have a red back cape here, and I'm going to do the front one and just the slightly split part of it here in white, just to break up the colour a bit, and then do the usual Templar scheme over the top of it. So looking forward to getting these guys done. I also have my Judicar here as well, who I based quite a long time ago, and I thought I'd just throw him in with this mix of this kind of set of painting that I'm doing, just to get on with it, because this has been sitting around for a while. I need to get some transfers on his shoulder pads and stuff like that, but he's not being painted right now. That's my next model up after these two here, because I'm not quite sure on his colour scheme yet, because I want to do something a little bit different with him. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. I've got just up here on this shelf, just up here, I have a Black Templars patrol box, or combat patrol box, which I want to get started on, but I've told myself that it is not being opened until I've finished these three models and the Primaris Crusader squad I got in the other set. So they need to be done before that is even opened, because I'm making a very concerted effort this year on calming down on purchasing of models. I mean, I say that, however, I have bought a few things, but second-hand things that were on a time-limited offer from a couple of friends. I don't know if Mr. Lee is in chat, but he gave me some. He sold me some Flamers, Zines for my Demon Army, and an Exalted Flamer, and one of the Acolytes on the Chariot thing, and then also Gavin, who may be in chat, I don't know. He also sold me in exchange for a new box off Goblin for it's basically some Chariots each. So I've got stuff for my Chaos Demon Army at a fairly good price, so I'm happy. And that'll be part of my Lingering Legion project eventually. It was stuff that I would eventually have got for Tzeentch. I'm just going to put it. It's going to be on a shelf for a bit probably, because I've got a lot to churn through in other armies and such. And yeah, what else has been going on in the world of Warhammer? Well, we've got this weird seasons things happening. I don't know what you guys think of the. And second-hand doesn't count when buying minis. I don't know about that. It's still money going out the door, Peter. it's money not back in my pocket. But ultimately, it is a great way, especially when it's from friends, because you know what you're getting is not going to be treated with. It's not going to be treated badly. It's fairly, it's all in one piece. And if you've got a complaint, you can always go back to the source just to say, what did you do with this model? And why did you charge me so much money for it? But that has not happened yet for me. So I'm very happy with the purchases anyway. So it gives me a nice leg up on my Demon Army. Although I do need to get some blue horrors for them first, because that was kind of what I was planning on doing. But we'll see. We got a whole year here till I have to start worrying about what I've done and what I haven't done over the year. I've got a lot of models to paint. That's one thing that I found out while doing my little cleanup. I've got so many systems about models to paint, and I really want to get them done. I've really neglected that army, even though I profess it's one of my favourite armies. Yeah, that's a good question, Jack. What is everyone's goals for this year? I mean, my current goals, as I kind of said, I just want to calm down on purchases and just try and work through what I've got, because I've got so many cool things to paint and do, and ultimately I've had my bit of fun with buying lots of Templar goodies, and I really should concentrate on the other armies that I've got after I've done them, because I've got stuff to paint. I don't need to buy anything. But you know what? You know, if there's what if you could fast forward till this time next year, what would one of the things you like to say to yourself that you have managed to achieve and do? That's a good way of looking at it. You know, whether it is you've finished a particular army, have you been good with your hobby, time and things like that. So Felpire, I would like to have 2,000 points of painted necrons. Had some for 10 plus years. Yeah, do you know what? That's a good goal. Yeah, I mean, you've been doing very well recently. I've seen obviously a couple of the mods you've done recently, which are very, very good quality, Felpire. So well done on them. I hope you will share them in the Discord, because I think people would appreciate the paint job on it. So if you haven't done that yet, do it. I know what you're like. Doesn't like to share his progress in public chats. But it's not a public chat. It's a little community. No one's going to judge you too much. There you go. I'll get a heart. I'm happy with that. Peter, you want to finish your Marine army and start Age of Sigmar and build my 30 plus cars for Gaslands. Oh well, that's quite a lot to do. I take it you have finally decided on your Marine chapter of choice, having looked at your deliberations in chat. But yeah, let us know what you finally decided on here, so everyone knows what you're working on. I'd like to see. I think it was the yellow and black color scheme, and it was I've forgotten the name of the damn chapter now. It'll come to me in a minute. My brain's been misfiring. And Vicky says his goal to have 3,000 points of World Eaters. Nice, lovely. Yeah, I think Vicky's already got quite a lot to paint anyway, so I don't know how much she's going to be buying outside of a couple of things that she wanted, like the Defilers. Captain Jack says, sell some stuff for me, like my Necrons, and try and focus on projects rather than. Yeah, that is fair enough. It is very easy to get sidetracked, in my opinion, in this hobby, because when you're looking at stuff to do and you kind of look at something, you can somehow get drawn in quite easily into going, oh yeah, another army, or oh, this looks cool, I haven't tried these ones before, I'll start doing it. And then unless you're really passionate about getting it finished, you may just find that you pick up all the stuff, do a couple of models, then put it to one side, then realise in 6 months time you ain't done sod all to it. So I mean, that's fair enough, we've all done that. Pick our Dark Suns will be done. Cool, excellent. Mr. Blue, this year's goal is a full setup for Chain and Command 2, posing size and a table worth a trope. Nice, that's a very admirable goal on that one as well. Obviously, I probably should be noting these down so that I can call you out on them next year. I mean, yeah, you can call me out if you want, if I've if I've not finished everything. What I might do actually is I might publish a list of my unpainted models on Discord this weekend when I get a moment to collate everything, and then I will start ticking them off so you can see what I've done over the year. I think that would be quite an interesting little thing to do, and if anyone else wants to join me in doing that, that would be quite a cool little thing for everyone to do. This is now a pact. Peter says the Marines. That's it. It's a no. Oh, fair enough. Okay, that was the Marines 11. I remember now. Yeah, that's a no on them. Azafel, start and complete a Necron force and actually play a game in 9th. Azafel, yeah, get a game in. Just do it. It's worth it. It's good fun. I'm going to go into a couple of my views in a minute about the way that Games Workshop's taking various things. I found myself agreeing with a couple of other YouTubers who have made some similar comments. We'll see. Who else we got here? So Dave says he wants to finish up a second army to play. Cool. I know you're working on. Well, you've got the potential to work on Custodes and Dark Eldar, if I remember correctly. So it'll be interesting to see which one you get finished as a full army. I'm going to guess the Custodes, personally. Nice easy win. Peter, monthly hobby challenge log on Discord. Yeah, I could. What I'll do is I might set up a sub room within one of the other rooms, maybe, or something like that. That way you can basically, people can put like a spreadsheet of their models so they can tick them off as they do them. I think that'd be quite a cool thing to do. Jack says that's a great idea. New Year's list of shame from everyone. Yep, let's do that, Jack. I might actually just make a special room for it. I'll call it the room of shame, and everyone can, however you want to share it, doesn't matter. If you can share a document via OneDrive or something like that, so that you can edit it, but everyone can view it and then have like little ticks as and when it's done. I think that's a nice idea. Mr. Blue, that's going to be a long list if we all. Yeah, it will be. But ultimately, if you keep the list to yourself, that's up to you to keep track of your stuff, not anyone else. But there may be some stuff about that coming up in a bit. As Phil said, oh, and not to buy any space elves until I've painted. Oh, the the paint before purchase quandary as it rolls on over the years. And I've just had a message. Let's see, is it Dom? Okay. I won't repeat what he just said. He's not having a good evening at the moment, but it's fine. I will soldier on for a bit and see how we go. Suffice to say, he's going to be a bit later, so just bear with. He will hopefully be here soon. Ultimately, I will say I will go into a couple of things that we're going to talk about because they're not. I think the main changes, just so you guys are aware, because I want to say this before I forget about it, is we will be going to a bi-weekly stream, so every 2 weeks, not every week. This is essentially so we can basically, because of Dom's family life and stuff, it's difficult for him to get multiple days off a week. So when we sacrifice a Tuesday to do the stream, we don't have time to maybe play a game in that week to record. So we're going to basically. What's it? Hellstorm Wargaming. Is that Mikey? Is that you, Mikey? We'll see. So let's go OBR on the Egyptian legends. But yeah, we're going into a bi-weekly stream just so that we can fit more games in on the week that we're not streaming. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think of that. I hope it doesn't affect everyone too much. I think we're pretty much doing that anyway because 9 times out of 10. There'd always be something that came up for one of us on a week, and we'd always end up either one of us not being here or failing to actually, turn up and do something. So we'll see. We'll see how we go. But yeah, and there's a few other bits that we're going to go through. We've got an interesting challenge to announce as well, which is going to be. I'm just going to give you a little hint. It's an all year round challenge. So be ready for that. We're going to need to get your thinking hats on for what you're going to do. I'm excited to see what people do. Philpa says sounds good. Excellent. Thank you very much, mate. I'm glad we got some support for our current system. Obviously, for my a couple of my goals for this year is to really knuckle down on some of the channel content because I will confess that the last. I'd say 6 months I haven't put out as much as I could or want to. So I'm making quite a firm commitment on actually sort of more battle reports, more painting content and stuff like that I've been doing. More updates to my actual army videos because I think one of the most weirdest things I found was the other day when I was doing my my update for my Templars at the end of 2021. I realised I hadn't done a previous video since May. Even though I had painted probably the most I had done in a year for that army, as you probably saw during that video, there was a lot of painted stuff that I could have done individual videos for, and I feel that perhaps I need to target myself as doing at least one a month of them if I can. I guess my consistency isn't fantastic for doing repeat content for my own. I don't know why. It's just a thing that I fail at. Doing repeat stuff. So anyway, I was going to obviously talk about the seasons thing, and obviously, ultimately, I'm not a huge match player, and ultimately, I understand that I don't think the season stuff is probably aimed at myself that much. I'd like getting involved with the odd tournament and things like that. So obviously, I will have to have a look at these particular season things, which is fair enough, and I'll probably still get it, but. It's not going to be my main focus of how I will be playing 40k this year, I suspect. Me and Vicky filmed a battle report the other day, which was much more narratively focused rather than necessarily being in match play. I mean, it's quite an interesting one because we don't tend to play with power level even in even in our non-match play games, because I find that the points thing is still a really nice way of balancing lists against each other. So yeah, that's something that I'll always probably keep going with, because I've tried power level games and they can turn into a bit of a mess, because you're getting a lot of free stuff sometimes for just I've got it modeled on my army, that's all good to go. Obviously I know certain things aren't quite like that, but I think leveling points wise it's quite cool. I don't know, what does everyone else think of the seasons for the kind of grand tournament packs and things like that? What's everyone's views on that? Out of interest, quite interested to see what everyone thinks of it, and how they're gonna probably spend their time playing games rather than whether you're gonna stick with doing pure match play, or if you're gonna you're gonna sort of drift away from it a bit because you don't really want to go out and have to buy a season's books every 6 months and things like that. It's an interesting subject. It's an interesting way that Games Workshop are going with it as well. I know I've seen a few videos on it now, which have got varying points of view on it. I'm trying to fall down this not quite the middle ground, but the fact is I think I have to understand that it's probably not designed with non-match players in mind, which is fair enough, because I think you can't really have match play and like a Crusade game in the same format in some ways. So Peter says other games do it, so I don't see it affecting me as I'm gonna. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, it's a money grab according to Mr. Blue, which is fair enough. I mean, it does have a little element of that in my opinion. A lot of people compare it to season passes in games, and that's one thing I'm not a huge fan of as well, which is probably why another reason that it slightly doesn't agree with my the way I play, I suppose. And then what we got is Felpar says seasonal things like magic, content is constant. Yeah, so Felpar essentially, if you go on their website, they've got a bit more information on it. But based in the evening, Andy, I think it's a way that they're going to, because I mean, in fairness, if you think about match play rules, the updates for it, in my opinion, weren't coming quick enough to keep the game balanced in certain ways, because something would come out, like a codex or something like that, and it would it obviously normally tips the balance in the favour of the newest codex. I mean, this has been a couple of kind of things contrary to that, but not really. But typically something comes out and it breaks the game. A lot of people are whinging about this Tau railgun stuff as an example, but I'm not convinced that's that bad. I think it's one of those things that looks horrible on paper, but I think wait till you have a few games with it, it might not be as bad as you think it is. People comparing it to the to the horrible guns that the Wraith Knights used to have back in 7th edition, as an example. But destroyer weapons and things like that, I don't think it's quite that bad. They're very powerful, obviously, but it's a one-shot weapon. There's ways around it. If you want to avoid it, don't take an entire army of tanks against Tau and expect to come out if they've got 3 hammerheads with them alive, because it probably wouldn't happen. It's about balancing your army lists as usual. And yeah, so but yeah, essentially, so on the back of that, you've got seasons happening, which is essentially every 6 months they're going to release a new kind of content book for updated missions and maps for grand tournament stuff, from what I understand. And that's to get the game more quickly balanced, I suppose, and also it does change how games will be played in grand tournaments, because they're going to give different missions each time, probably different secondaries for each of those missions, I'm going to suspect, looking at some of the previews. And I think that's quite an interesting. I think it's interesting, especially if you're a very keen match player. I think it's probably very positive news, because you see it. But again, I think the only thing that slightly irks me about it more is that it's going to cost. You're going to spend at least 40 to 50 quid a year, depending on how much the books cost. Probably maybe more, depending if you have to buy one of the bigger ones, to keep yourself in the game, so to speak. Which I think is the bit that a lot of people probably have an issue with. And yeah, exactly. And I do understand that point of view. It's one of those things that they could have done some of it for free. Obviously we're going to have these little balance rules like we had a few weeks ago, where they just released a small A4 sheet of stuff, which basically gave obviously we saw that the guard got a few extra rules. Tau had some changes, lots of little things. The older I got, the points got changed again for free, and I'd like to see more free stuff, I suppose, rather than necessarily making you buy books to get certain rule sets. Because eventually, I suppose after you've done it for a couple of years, you're ending up almost spending a couple £100 just to stay relevant in a game that you've already technically bought a lot of money into through playing, just getting the models, and getting your armies. And I suppose it will depend on what happens after all the 9th edition codexes are released, whether they continue to, whether they start the cycle again. If you add a whole load of new codexes on top of that again after that lot's been released straight away, I think people are going to be pretty pissed. And I suspect a lot of people here will agree with that point of view, because we've only just they're only just getting towards the end of actually doing the initial releases of some of these codexes, and it's taken quite a long time to get here, really. Obviously there's been a pandemic in the middle of it, and you can kind of appreciate it on some level. Oh, hello. He might be here. Let's see. Let's come off. Sorry, guys. Just I heard the ping in the background. I can't see him. He's been rather ghostly.
I need to plug my webcam in.
That's a bit awkward, isn't it? I wonder who unplugged that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you can't complain.
Some people would say that I've actually got a face for radio. So, if anything, this is
you can stay like this if you want.
You've had a vote, and we've decided that.
Keep your webcam off. Don't plug it back in.
It's actually quite offensive.
Have you managed it, Dom?
I did hear a boopity boop.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Back!
He is. I seem to be missing a bit of my screen bizarrely on the stream, but it's fine. I'll live. Mr. Lee has arrived as well, and I did actually say hi to Andy. Mr. Lee, even without COVID, they always take a while to release books. I loved it when they released 8th and all the indexes. Yeah, that was pretty cool, Mr. Lee. I agree. The index thing was quite a cool little, quite a cool thing, really, in my opinion. Don't know what you think, Dom. We were just talking about the season thing, and I was just explaining how it wasn't really aimed at maybe how we play 40k.
No, I'm not.
But I'm not.
Part of me likes the idea.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bash it because I don't think it's. I think it's not aimed at players like us. I think it's aimed at those tournament players that go all the time and that's all they play. And I think that's fair enough. It's grand tournament style play. You need to be up to date with the rules and so on and so on. They're tweaking it all the time. But there could have been some other options for making it maybe a bit freer.
yeah, the old free option that's not in GW's. I like the idea behind it. Like I like what they're, but I don't think the execution's going to be particularly good on it. No. And like we've said previously, it is completely driven on competitive players.
Yes.
And I think I know we've definitely said it on the channel, and a few people recently have said it on other channels that it's matched play is competitive play.
Yes.
There's no two ways about it. There's this is just how we're doing things these days.
Yeah.
And it's a shame if match play wasn't competitive, and it was just a general fix. Cool, go for it. But the market for 40k at the moment is all about competitive play.
You managed to escape then, I see.
I did escape.
I didn't repeat what you said because I didn't want to cast you in a bad light.
Yes, I've escaped. And I was bringing up some water to carry on cleaning up my models, and I literally just fell up some stairs and spilled half of it everywhere.
That's what I do. What are you doing?
Yes. Anyway, hello, Peter. Good to see you. Mr. Blue.
It's been a very chatty night actually so far. which is
charging
good.
us more because they can't bounce the game. It's bad. Yeah, that's it, Mr. But I think it's a good idea to have a little patch and do it. But it does seem that if you start calling it seasons and stuff like that, it's you know, you kind of think, well, what do you immediately think when you think of seasons? You know, and that's what they're going
Call
for.
of Duty, Fortnite.
Yeah.
I did drop the small information about the bi-weekly stream just because I was just chatting away. That's pretty much all I've kind of mentioned.
Okay.
About
Cool.
what we speak about the other night. So I think it was received reasonably well, with the reasoning behind it. Of actually being able to play more games and things. So.
Exactly. I've actually signed up for a little tournament at the end of the month.
Oh, really?
So I will be hopefully recording some games.
Which one was this?
Practice one. Priority Orders
in
in
Brighton.
Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ooh, very fancy.
So I've signed up for that. I've messaged the person running it. So yeah, all good.
Oh, don't spill it, Dom.
I've already spilt it. It's a terrible night, Tom. Literally just exploded on my desk.
I don't know what to say. He looks so angry.
Hello, my beer.
Rule balances are good, but charging us more. But yeah, that's fair enough. Well, they can blame Private Press for not doing the game properly, and there was coming back to 40k. And agreed with Mr. Blue. It's not even like their need money stock prices quadrupled during COVID. Just seems like they're milking. Yep. So the key is don't become a tournament player.
Well, that is kind of true, isn't it? But I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's a company that's got shareholders. How do you make shareholders happy? You keep making them money.
No?
Sorry. That's the way it is. The way of the world, people.
I turned your world green.
Yeah.
Keep it casual. Well, I mean, I've heard what you do, Felpa, so if that's how you want to roll, fair enough.
Well, I was another YouTuber put something up the other day, put a chapter approved, a copy of chapter approved next to them. I was like, wee, and then another content creator essentially commented on that, saying the speed of what GW's releasing, it is nearby impossible to keep up with playing it, let alone create content for it.
True.
And they're kind of going, actually, I'm probably not going to do 40k anymore because it's getting silly. And I kind of see both sides of it. And I lean towards a little bit. It depends how you want to do it. Like, we've never been one to go, this is our constant update of stuff. Like the Black Templar Codex. You love Black Templars, you've got the Codex. Yet we haven't done much content for Black Templars.
No.
It's not like we get the Codex in advance and feel we have to kind of just do it once.
Ultimately, the thing I've found actually when stuff releases, that people are probably sick and tired of watching that content by the time we get the Codex. Because I've heard comments about it that, you know, the Codex drops. A lot of the big channels obviously have had it out for a few weeks, and all those channels have done is do videos on that book and that army and that kind of stuff. And I think some people would appreciate a bit of a change. I think I actually saw in a couple of comments from our videos, I think around certain releases where we'd done something completely different, and they were like, oh, it's quite refreshing to find something not this and this, you know, because it saturates something quite a lot. Because I think everyone does want to see the new stuff, obviously, but I think there's a limit to how much that new stuff they want to see.
And I think the thing is as well with a lot of these channels, if like, let's say, maybe not Custodes, Gene Stealer Cult comes out with their Codex, and you are going to see the brand new units. You're going to see relatively competitive lists getting played, and it's going to be the same, very similar lists coming out, and it doesn't really show, in my essence, the heart of the army, the heart of what that faction is. It's just, in this Codex for 9th edition, these are the key units you want to be taking, and that's what it is. And for instance, they would have had the same for Black Templars. Maybe you would have had a different kind of gist on it and gone, actually,
You know,
I'm
I
going
probably would have
down
done
this route. Yeah,
because I can't make competitive lists to save my life. I go, oh, this looks brilliant, and then it's like, this has worked out very poorly for me.
I've made some bad decisions.
uh, well, Peter, I wouldn't quite go as far as that. I mean, there are quite. I mean, ultimately, calling people entitled brats is a bit strong. Some people, as much as there are people that I don't like on YouTube, but ultimately, that's opinion. It's my opinion.
Yeah, you're not really a massive fan of like charity YouTube channels or anything like that. People who try and raise money for good causes. You're really against that. So entitled. They're unbelievable. Trying to help all those kids in the third world. Who do they think they are?
But yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't. I think. I think it's maybe unfair to just to tar with some of the brush. I mean, ultimately, there are people I don't like.
We've already discussed those people.
I'm not going to. I am not going to do any naming of names because it's just rude. Dom, on the other hand, likes to drop a little hints here and there. I don't know why though.
Children and charities. He hates them.
What? I see. Okay, so Dom is trying to make me out that I don't like charities very well. Okay, this is very untrue, by the way, people.
Yeah, and Jack, that is a good point. Rather watch a batrep or content where channels get passion for the armies rather than extended demo for the units. And that's what I'm kind of getting at. Like Tom, sorry, Tom, you're an example here. Although he does hate children and charities, he loves Black Templars. And you know when you're watching a battle report for Blacktoe Studios that Tom is loving his faction.
Well, I don't know anymore.
But that's what I'm getting at. That
I mean,
we've got for the armies that we collect, we have got a passion for it.
My biggest charity case is sitting in this chat with me, so just
rude. Making enemies everywhere.
Let's put it this way: if I wasn't so charitable, sometimes someone over here wouldn't even be streaming today.
Well, I like to say that your viewers have gone up extremely since I've turned up, and someone's just liked it.
But anyway, before
children charities must make him go mental. Yeah. When they come on, Peter, we just turn the channel over.
I can't bother to turn up for those kind of things. I get invited.
I think if we could choose the ads that go on our channel, he would definitely put a few requirements in there. Be like, no, we are not having any of those scroungers on here.
That's why when I do the that's why when I do the the age rating on it, I always put all the maximum things on it.
Yeah, adult
only.
Yeah,
guns.
Yeah.
Sex, rock and roll, drug usage, all that, and then it's probably why we don't get many views. To be fair, I mean, I go back and tag all your videos as well.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah, Red Nose Day must be the worst. No, Children in Need is the worst. Peter, he hates it. Pugsy,
wow.
You don't know what he calls
Punchy.
Punchy.
Oh, hello, Stuka. I haven't seen you for a while, my friend. Happy New Year to yourself as well. Peter, my 40k charity. Oh dear, Peter. Well,
there we go. I think we've got the right image across now.
The biggest charity project on the channel is the massive Word Bearers Army.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna justify that, Tom. Reading that.
Oh, I don't think I have a problem tonight, Dom. I'm afraid. If this is this is how it's going to be, But anyway, yeah. Before we go down this crazy route, we got a few little things that we obviously wanted to go over today because it's the first stream of a brand new year of the old 2022.
Happy New Year, everyone! In case I haven't said so already, and I'm pretty sure Tom wouldn't have said anything. Yeah.
First thing I said.
Anyway, Tom, do you want to go through it because you're the organised one with the list?
I mean, the fact I made.
I'm the one here with A
you know.
toothbrush and some resin.
Anyway, well, I'll start off with the one that I've already kind of announced. Obviously, everyone, we had a chat the other day just about what we're going to do the channel this year. We've got a few goals in mind. I'm not going to go into those because that's more of a thing between me and Dom at the moment. And one of the top one was that we want to go to bi-weekly streams, and that's basically so that we have more time to play some more tabletop together on the days where, because obviously I basically said that you have trouble getting a couple of days off a week, and if we take it all up with streaming on that Tuesday, we can't necessarily meet up and have a game that same week.
Yeah, we're going to maximise a bit on our potential time.
And actually, the way we thought about it, actually, I think once every other week is actually pretty good. It's quite a nice format. It gives us time to come up with things to have a chat about and things like that, and also we don't get burnt out doing the streams, which can happen sometimes. It's quite a lot to do on one evening, but that's one of the first things. We have both set ourselves a video target for the year of how many we want to produce, haven't we?
We have.
And we're trying to become more accountable to each other for the channel. I think we basically said we're going to beast each other a little bit over getting content created.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't. Again, I'm not going to go into the exact numbers, but we should. I'm hoping all of you will see an uptick in content.
Yeah, and also hold us to account, guys. If you're on Discord and you go, Dom, we haven't seen any of your stuff for a bit. What's going on?
Tell us what you want as well, because that's good to know. If there's something you haven't seen and you saying, "Oh, I could use a slice of that right now," old Charity Dom over here will very happily do you a video.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the nice one, guys.
So yeah, that's another thing. And we are. I think this year is one of these ones where we're going to try and, I suppose, take things a bit more semi-serious for content production, as in try and get stuff on a regular basis out. So that's one thing we want to. We do want you to sort of say, "Oh, we haven't noticed any videos from you this week," and make us feel like.
So I'm just saying, in the background, you may see a table full of parts. These are parts for a Warhound Titan, and I don't know. Can I put that across a bit? There you go. There's loads of it, bits everywhere. So I am currently working my little tushy off to try and get these bits ready. There is a video being uploaded, probably tonight. It's going to be uploaded, and that'll be the next one. But there's a lot here to clean.
And I know
working my way through it.
And for those who wanted to see a Black Templar battle report, there will be one up this weekend. That me and Vicky have played a game. We're hoping going to do another one this week as well. It's slightly smaller scale points because we wanted to do something a little bit quicker and small, just because Vicky hasn't really played Word Bearers that much, so it's not Word Bearers, sorry, World Eaters that much. Word Bearers, didn't mean to say that. Sorry, Vicky. So we just wanted to start to get in the swing of playing the army. So in all, enjoyed the Warhound. So Sarah says he enjoyed the Warhound video and thought my Chaos Knight looked like a challenge. I think Dom's going to have a fun.
Sure, trust me, Sarah. It's like in comparison, a Chaos Knight is like a snap-fit Marine in comparison to Warhound.
The other thing that we decided to do is with Discord, we're probably going to hopefully potentially invite a couple of people to become moderators at some point. It's something that we're going to pick. It's nothing. If you don't get picked, I just want to let you know it's nothing personal. All right. It's just that it's people that have been very involved from the beginning, who have shown up to obviously streams almost every week and things like that, regardless of whether we were going to be online or not. And ultimately, it's not really a huge thing. It's just so that we can have some other eyes in there and also give them a few rights. So if they want to set a couple of things or change some titles for us, while we're streaming, they can do that. Which is
I think something to keep in mind as well is, we've got an amazing community on Discord already, and if we ask you to be a moderator, or you can volunteer to be a moderator, and we'll obviously have to talk about it between us. We kind of want to keep the community growing, not just in numbers, but in kind of activities and interaction. So yeah, keep that in mind. We're really happy with Discord. Like, even if the channel suddenly disappeared, the Discord is brilliant, and we want to keep building it up and bringing hobby into everyone's lives. So yeah, awesome stuff.
Also, one thing that we were talking about just before you arrived, Dom, actually, is we're going to start a new channel in Discord. It's going to be called the Room of Model Shame, and it was actually quite popular. This one, a lot of people were interested. Essentially, what I'm going to encourage people to do is to either get a spreadsheet or a list, upload it to the thing, either via a downloadable link like OneDrive or something like that, with a list of all their currently unpainted models.
Oh dear.
I know.
I can imagine some people's is going to be a very long
Well,
list.
I am going to do it as well because I feel that it's a good thing to do, and that way, what we'll hopefully do is we can review it maybe once a month on the stream and say, oh look, someone's done 8 models here. That's pretty cool going. And give a bit of encouragement, give people something to aim for, because obviously this came about as a New Year's resolution thing. As in what your hobby goals for the year. So I think adding that in there is going to be quite a nice little thing to do. So I will create that shortly after the stream's finished, just so I can have it a bit of time to make it look right. Obviously, Apocalypse games. Hopefully, we can have 2 this year, aren't we? That's the plan.
Oof. Yeah, we're planning one for April. So it's going to be another big one, like we've seen on the channel, where it was 20,000 points aside.
40,000 points to 40k.
Yep. It's going to be pretty epic. I think we've got some good factions appearing, good armies that have probably. I think the armies have all appeared on the channel now. Yep, yeah, they've all appeared on the channel now. So a lot of them have grown since then. It's going to be epic. We've got secret objectives kind of working on at the moment as well, that each player gets a secret objective he can't tell his teammates about, or obviously the opponent.
Yeah.
And it's going to be pretty fun.
And hopefully an epic board, which is what I'm going to have to build in my living room, which will be fun. I'm looking forward to doing it, to be fair. So I'm going to try and come up with something a little bit more than the average thing that we do on a day-to-day basis. It's going to probably involve a fair amount of gravel. Do you know what? I'm just going to cover 2x4s in gravel. Done. That's it. Nothing else. Just a desert of gravel. There will be Titans in this game as well, hopefully. Won't there, Dom?
I'm working on it, Tom. I'm working on it.
Quickly. Yeah, and ultimately, as I said earlier, me and Dom have a subscriber goal, which we're going to hopefully reveal towards the end of the year if we're sort of getting where we want to go. Because we realised I suppose, maybe stagnated a little bit last year. We've identified what we've been doing possibly wrong and things like that. So we're going to just, we're going to all these things that we announced a minute ago are going to be to try and push what we're doing and make it actually good and work for us. So all while trying to keep our jobs and stuff.
Get married and have jobs.
Yeah,
and families.
all those things. And the last thing is obviously challenges. We had a good chat about this, didn't we, Dom?
We did have a good chat about that.
We've hopefully come up with something that everyone's going to like. I think we're both a bit kind of not sure that everyone's going to like this. But we wanted to come up with something quite cool for the entire year, rather than just being a one-off kind of week by week or bi-weekly in this case kind of thing. Something that you can concentrate on for the whole year, and we can have a look at something amazing that you've done. So I don't know if you want to.
No, you go through it, Tom. I'm listening and I'm
I just
contributing.
feel like I don't want to just Anyway, it's not Armies on Parade, but it's like Armies on Parade.
I think the way of looking at it is it could be Armies on Parade.
But we're not going to. I think the rules that we have maybe aren't going to be quite as maybe strict, I suppose, as what maybe Games Workshop do for theirs. And I've got some but basically, instead of doing a bi-weekly challenge, we're going to set this challenge at the beginning of the year in January. And anyone can join this throughout the year. You don't have to start in January and then feel that if someone comes to the channel in June and goes, oh, you started this challenge, you can still join then if you feel you're capable of doing what needs to be done. What's this? Okay. Can help with sub count, £2 per sub, and shouldn't Tom be cleaned up? And Armies at attention. But anyway, so the way we want to do this is that January, which is the first month of this challenge, because obviously none of you have been aware of this even coming at all. This is going to come out of a blind side for a lot of you. We're going to give you some loose rules now, and I'll formulate them a little bit more in Discord in the challenge section. And the ultimate goal is to have I think we said it was going to be, I think it was a 2x4 size.
2x2.
2x2, sorry, 2x4. Jesus Christ, I just realised what I said. A 2x4 size.
People are like, really?
Diorama board. So whatever, if you take a cutting board or whatever, just that 2x2 is the maximum size, and we would like you to keep it. I think it was 22x30. 22, yeah. 22 by 30.
Yeah, minimum is 22x30, and
and that's what we're
on average 2x2 is the better size, I think.
And so this first month, because these are going to be done monthly, so we're going to give you this now, and we won't do anything to do with the challenge until this time next month in February. So I think it's basically the first streaming Tuesday on the following month, whenever we're doing it. So it won't necessarily be the first week; it could be the second week, but there'll be a month in between each announcement, essentially. And the first one, from a challenge point of view, will be to kind of come up with a little design or an idea that you want to do for it. And ultimately, you've got your 2x2 as the base, and you can then essentially, I suppose we're looking kind of a patrol detachment. Is that what we were kind of saying? Size army. It doesn't have to be a patrol detachment. Just if you think about this, I'll try and give a size.
The way of looking at it is you've got the requirements for like the area that your army has to be in. However, you can kind of go as big or as kind of small. Like, don't aim too high that you're not going to be able to achieve it.
No, exactly.
Aim to a degree where you're going to enjoy it and you can put your own flavour to it.
I remember the terrain is also part of the project. It's not just about the models. And the important thing is to remember it's not just for 40k. So if you want to do a different game system, no problem at all. All right, we're not shoehorning it into just being 40k. It is purely any game system you want. You could even do if you want to do a Blood Bowl thing. You could do a nice little snippet of a Blood Bowl arena. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah, and I think also it doesn't have to be a brand new force. You can be adding to a current force. But the idea is, it's all a bit of fun, a bit of honesty there as well. That maybe you've already got an Ultramarine army, but you just want to add another little detachment in, a different company maybe, and you can just do that and add that to your current force and do a little diorama for it.
And then what we may do through each month, we may add a little mini challenge to put on the diorama boards, just as a bit of fun. Add this little. Add a token in the style of something or other that fits your board. It's more about what you want to do with it anyway. So we don't want to impact too much on what you guys do, because obviously it's your vision, not ours. Ultimately.
Yeah, exactly. Armies at attention. I think it should be stand easy. Armies at ease.
Should we go with armies at ease then?
Yeah, armies at ease.
Armies at ease. Okay, we're going to call it armies at ease.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, there you go, Mr. Blue. So you're already but anyway, just before we carry on going on about it, what is everyone who's in chat right now? What do you think of that idea, and do you want to get involved with it? Because obviously, we don't want to do this if like only 2 of you pick it up and then no one else is interested for the entire year, because it's not really that fun. If you don't want to get involved with it, but it would be very cool if some of you did, and ultimately, if we can get 6+ people to do it, I think it's a nice thing that people can watch. So it kind of takes shape over the year.
And like we said, there doesn't have to be 40k. It could be Blood Bowl, could be Necromunda, could be if you really want to try Titanicus on a relatively biggish board or something. You could
do a Titanicus, someone looking down on a Titanicus battlefield.
I mean, what'd be cool is you got a Titanicus board, but it's just like it's got some really nice custom bits of terrain in there. It doesn't all have to be about having Titans. It can be the whole spectacle, not just the.
You could get some of the Space Marine models, the big scale ones, the McFarlane ones, had them on the diorama, looking down at a board playing Titanicus.
There you go. There you go. We've got people who are interested. We'll put it on Discord as well, because obviously, there's people on Discord that aren't here today.
I think what I will do is I will change the painting challenge name to Armies at Ease Challenge for the year, just so people are clear on what that is there. And basically, the reason we're doing this, by the way, it's not because we weren't enjoying the challengey thing. If I'm totally honest, it became quite a challenge for me and Dom to think up of a new challenge every couple of weeks. And ultimately, by the end of the year, we were running out of ideas dramatically. And while we could have just repeated stuff over and over again, it it's not quite the same as coming up with something quite cool and unique to do each week. So um,
I think also, well, it's a nice thing to keep in mind. And
yeah,
my personal enjoyment of this would be that we do this challenge, and let's say 3 or 4 of you do it. Amazing if more of you guys do it. That'd be
yeah,
brilliant. But I'd like for you guys to actually go, actually, I've got this. I'm going to go down to my local GW and enter this as my army on parade.
yeah.
And hopefully, you'll have this in your mind that we've done it as part of the Black Toad challenge. And I've now got something I can take away from it.
Yeah, and also you're saying, can you do more than one? Jack, if you think you can do more than one in a year,
Yeah,
go
have
for it.
different aliases, Jack.
Obviously, don't rush it. This is something. Don't just smash out something in a month or something like that. Take your time because ultimately this is a really good way for you to take an army maybe you've been wanting to do for a long time or one that you've already got and really upscale the quality on what you're trying to do. And have fun with it. It's a diorama itself is quite a difficult thing to achieve anyway, in my opinion. The question is, are we going to do it, Dom?
Well, I'm building this Warhound at the moment, and as far as I know, it's about 2,000 points.
So you're basically entering your Warhound as your diorama, yeah?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
In all honesty, if we weren't doing the channel, Tom,
Yeah.
I
know.
would put my name down on this straight away because I think it's a brilliant opportunity because it's something that's always kind of teased me that I'm like, oh, actually, I could do that, and like my personal project as well. And I'm doing the base of the Warhound, wherever the base has gone. That is like my run up of an armies on parade board, display board, because it's going to be the biggest base that I've done before. So it's given me an opportunity to make it a bit grander. So
That's
yeah,
fair enough.
it's brilliant. I think it's going to be a really good challenge for people to do.
Sarah says, sounds good. Tempted to do my Maggotkin in a Plague Forest type board as I have a few start collecting sets in the cupboard. Fair enough. There you go. So you've already got. Because, I mean, ultimately the idea is, the best way to do this is if you've got an army you're just starting, this is a great way to, number one, show off your new army, and number two, paint it all up, or paint a good portion of it up by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the hope this helps you get through your cupboards of shame a little bit as well. If you've got an entire force sitting around doing nothing, and you're like, oh, I've been waiting to do these. But yeah, so anyway, for the first month's part of the challenge is that we want to see your design ideas. Okay, so have a think about it. You can do a drawing. You can just do a short couple of paragraphs on what you're planning to do, and then once I've renamed it. In fact, let me rename the channel now because then it's all nice and fresh. Because I don't want to lose obviously the previous channel challenge stuff because that was all really cool stuff.
Hello, War Venom. We're just going through some of the changes that we're going to be going through in 2022. We're just in the middle, or we're coming to the end now of talking about painting challenges. So previously on the channel, we were doing regular painting challenges, and it'll all be like little one-offs. However, this time round, we're doing what we're calling armies at ease, which is a bit like armies on parade, maybe not as strict. But eventually, over the year, the idea is that the people taking part will have a nice finished project to show off, including a board and terrain. So if that sounds like something you fancy doing, War Venom, please do sign up. I know you're on Discord, but let's just pretend you're not, and we can share a link, and you can join it. But Tom, at the moment, is just writing it up in the chat. Also, War Venom, I know you've got an interest in my Titan, and I'm currently scrubbing bits.
Okay, well I've renamed it to Armies at Ease Painting and Hobby Challenge. So it is now there. I will write a pinned comment shortly. I'm not going to do that now because it's going to take me a bit of time to formulate something that makes a coherent amount of sense. But yes. And oh, hello. So yeah, I did hear Dom talking to War Venom. Obviously, hello, mate. I hope you're doing well. Nice to have you join us. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of people that haven't been on for a while, which is very nice. Speaking of which, actually, let's get the Discord link out, shall we? Because we haven't had a link out for a little while.
No, like I said before, we're thinking of asking people, or if people are volunteering, to become little admins in our Discord group, and hopefully build that community with us. Because I know a lot of you are passionate about it, and it'd be great to see some of that passion come out. I love Tyrant Knight. Chaos Warhammer is one of my favourite Forge World kits. Yeah, likewise, buddy. Likewise. It's just such an impressive kit. Obviously, you've seen my last video. It's just awesome. I haven't even started tidying up the weapons. I'm trying to do it methodically and to work my way up from the feet. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And let's also add another channel in here.
What is everyone doing tonight? What hobbies people working on at the moment? Sorry, I wasn't here to see at the beginning. What's everyone doing at the moment?
There we go. Right, that's all set up. I've also added the room of model shame. You know what to do, gents. So let's just go back into the waiting room here. I don't know if anyone else has joined us, but no one else has yet. So if you haven't joined Discord, there's a link in chat. Click it. Come and join us. Get involved with us. We'd love to see you there if you haven't already. If you think anyone would like our channel and also our Discord, go out and tell them. Come watch an episode. Get them to join the Discord. You know, even people that don't watch the stream, if they want to get involved with a little community for doing stuff, honestly, you guys are great. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You don't, let's take it away a little bit from the YouTube and kind of go towards a hobby in the community. It's not all about the channel. It's about all of us. Yeah, nice.
So, but yeah, that was essentially our announcements for this year. So you can judge us this time next year and think and see how we did through our kind of pledges for the channel. So,
like I said, you guys can also hold us to account as well. If we've gone a bit quiet, please just give us a little slap.
Yeah, 100%.
It's all good stuff.
Well, I managed to do some cloaks tonight.
Ooh, nice. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to this tournament towards the end of the month, and I'm not sure what army I'm going to take, Tom, and people in the chat. So I'm kind of thinking one way or another, it's going to be Chaos Knights and maybe Cultists. Chaos Knights and Cultists, or Necrons. And if I do Necrons, I don't know what dynasty I'm going with. So actually, I'll put a little poll up, and you guys can vote.
It depends on. Are you wanting to actually try and get somewhere in the tournament, or are you just wanting to go and play and have fun? That's it.
I don't really know, to be honest.
Because if you're just going to have fun, I'll just take your knights.
What
about sisters?
I've got 1,000 points.
Yeah.
It took me a long time.
Come on now. Come on. We talked about this. Get them all painted. Yes, Captain Jack. That is a very good point. Speaking of charity, old Captain, Moth Wallet over here. If he says, "Can you break a tenner?" I will hit him for you, Captain Jack.
I'll do you a deal, Captain Jack. I'll do you a deal.
Oh no.
There's £20 here. It's going to live on this cupboard until you personally come down and collect it. And every week, Jack, you can just check. But I don't know if you can see it now.
This will be.
That £20 is sitting there for you, Jack.
At the moment, but because Dom is a very charitable man, if someone comes around for a charity, he may give that £20 away.
There you go. Do we get to see Dom's list of shame? I tell you what, actually,
he's pretty good.
Well,
he's pretty good.
My list of shame went towards this project behind me. I think I raised about £550 through getting rid of my my pile of chain, which all went towards. I will do, Jack. I will be amazed. So yeah, I've got on my what have I got so far? I've got a knight there. I've got some havocs. I've got a little AOS dwarf. I've got what's his name? Word bearer summoner guy for 30k.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! Close that cupboard. Close that cupboard.
Have you ruined it?
There's a few bits in there.
I mean, also, I'm probably going to be. I mean, personally, from my pile of shame, I'm probably actually going to end up selling my Imperial Guard army. I think, having thought about it a bit more, because I have no inclination to play them. If I'm totally honest, it's very weird when you because obviously I put a lot of effort into building that army in a certain way for my Templar Crusade essentially. But I'm not really a fan of it. The problem is the colour scheme I've done for them really isn't going to sell particularly well on YouTube, on eBay. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about it. But I'm hoping someone might just buy it. But because I've used snow, white and red, it's quite a. Oh yeah, no, serious. I understand there's a revamp. It's just I don't. I mean Dom's seen me try to play guard a couple of times in my 40k playing time, and it's never quite gelled for me playing guard.
I think we said before,
Yeah,
guards one of those armies that you need to have some serious passion for.
yeah,
Otherwise, you just take the loyal 32.
yeah.
And yeah, it's up. Obviously, they didn't gel with you, mate.
No,
So
and
there's other
honestly,
armies to have.
and I think sometimes holding your hands up and saying that is actually good because that was quite a sizable little force, and I don't really, you know, it's just not. It's an army that I love the idea of, but I think I love the idea of lots of tanks, and I don't really want to play a tank army. So I've got my two super heavies, which I will keep because I do like them, and they're for apocalypse games, so no problem with them. And that's the part of guard I like is the big tanks, not the little. I like the giant ones which have lots of firepower, but the troops and all the other bits is not. It just doesn't. I can't. I've never really got into playing them at all. I've had that army for a long time, haven't I, Dom? To be fair.
Yep.
Yeah. When
Yep.
was the last time you saw it out?
Last time I saw it out, we played a game
Yeah.
where it was Renegades and
Yeah.
Heretics
Versus guard.
Yeah.
I know that must have been a year or two ago now. So I've had no real. And it's the same. Odd enough, it's the same with my Grey Knights. I don't really want to play them either. I don't think I'm going to get rid of them though. I think that might just be a phase. That because I used to really like them, and I think maybe just because it's not really what I want to play at the moment. So they're just on a shelf at the moment. They're quite happy. They're not going anywhere. I've got enough of them that I don't feel too bad about keeping them. They're not a huge army. It's about a 3,000 point army I think of Grey Knights, and that's they're fine. They're great for doing different videos and things. What's this? Sarah says, I just got rid of all my Eldar as they were all unpainted and swapped them for some Chaos Knights. Need to be. That's fair enough. Yep. There you go. Oh, well, show. Don't know why that got blocked, Peter. The best thing about Guard is the fact you can convert. Oh, okay, convert the shit out of them. That would have been that would have been the word that blocked it. I'm not quite sure why. It's not the worst word in the world. But yeah, oddly enough, Sarah, actually, I used to. I mean, Dumbo might remember. I actually bought an Eldar army a long time ago, and I think I played one game with it. And I went, no, absolutely not for me. Not my style of play at all. Way too much shenanigery required to make them work, and that's not how I play 40k. So hence why I would never go near Genestealer Occults, Dark Eldar, or other armies that require a little bit more, I suppose, finesse to play. Is that a fair way of putting it? I suppose. I've always been a blunt hammer kind of guy. So
more a Black Templar player than a Raven Guard
I'll
player.
just take 30 Dreadnoughts, please, mate.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Yeah.
All with fists.
I might do Iron Hands, or I might do. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I think it kind of goes towards the style that you're most happy with.
I think the most disappointing thing about it is that I bought the Guard to complement my Crusade force, which I had an idea for doing as a grand scale thing. That's the only thing that I was slightly disappointed with taking away. But at the same time, if you look at the size of my Black Templar force has been growing year on year, and eventually it'll come to the point where I don't really need anything else to make it a sizable force anymore. It's big enough as it is. You know?
Yeah, I kind of look at it the other way around. Like I've got probably about 7,000 points of guard. I've got 1,000 points of sisters now, and I'd kind of like a tiny marine force, but to do like the proper scale of it, because if you know all the narrative and lore and background of it is, there's X amounts of guardsmen for each space marine, and that's what I kind of like. This like big massive force of guard, a little element of sister battle.
Saviors.
And then like 2 squads of space marines. There's like nothing to it. But yeah, the other way around. If you've got an insane amount of Black Templars, you can never do the guard justice in comparison.
And also, you say, but you play Chaos Demons, so I assume that's in comment to the finesse thing. The problem with Demons is I love the models. That's not a thing to do really with the gameplay. For me, that Chaos Demons is about the models. I love the aesthetic of the demons. I think they look awesome. There's not many demons I don't like the look of. To be fair, that's one thing that I like about the army. That's why I decided to paint them and do them, because it's not. It wasn't. I wanted to play the Crusade game as well. I'm not playing them competitively. I would never play demons competitively. I've seen how difficult they are to play normally, let alone competitively. You have to be so on top of all your synergies and various bits and pieces that I don't think I would take them to a tournament unless it was a friendly one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll definitely play a doubles with you, Dom, obviously, because that's easy peasy.
Thank you. Yeah.
And Fail Pass is why I'm also hyped to play Total War Warhammer 3, because that is one game that because it's Warhammer related. There may be a couple of things on here showing off a couple of battles because it's actually quite cool. There's some of the stuff they've put in with the demons look amazing. So Yeah,
like I said, demons have got a very nice model range.
Yes. And I think I think with the demons model ranges, it's so out there in comparison to any of the other factions. It's so different.
Yeah.
Four very distinct styles of demon within a faction, and also they look wildly different to most other models. All other models you can kind of say Chaos Space Marine. It's still men in armor, basically.
Yeah.
And you've got guard, renegade guard, men, armor, guns again, and then you look at the other factions, Eldar. It's kind of elves, space elves. It's a very similar. Whereas
I think the closest you've possibly got to demons are probably Tyranids.
Yeah.
That's the closest you probably got, and even then,
even though I'd say they're quite wildly different.
Yeah, they've got quite a few differences.
Obviously, Tyranids, in my opinion, do look like proper alien, organisms, whereas demons have a certain quality. Like, how does that work? If you know what I mean. You look at a Tyranid, you go, oh, it's got wings, it's got spar. I can see that being.
I was thinking more the types of units you have.
Okay, yeah. That's
because I think a lot of the armies in 40k are very reliant on shooting.
Yeah.
And I mean, you do have a fair bit of shooting for Tyranids. Don't get me wrong. However, there tends to be a bit more of a balance when it comes to combat and shooting. Obviously, demons are wildly different from most armies in 40k.
Yeah. And I would say they're probably more aimed at a combat-based army as well, in my opinion, because I mean, obviously they do have their shooty stuff, but it's not.
Well, they've got a good lot of psychic stuff as well.
This is true. Yeah, psychically, yeah. But it looks like you're playing necrons.
It does look that way, doesn't it? 62%. We could do it. Necrons.
Do you feel sad or happy?
I'm not really that fussed, to be honest. I was thinking one way or another. I was like, oh, what should Necrons? Should I go? Because what have I been doing? Novok is by Dynasty of Choice. I might try Mithril. I've got a lot of Tesla, and I quite like rolling dice. So it could be quite fun to kind of get in closer to the enemy by lots of Tesla shots and have at least a -1 AP on them. Could be quite fun.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That's fair enough. Can they make the list?
Yeah.
You can make the list. Whether Dom will do this is another
exactly. Look at this. Jeez. What's going on here?
He's not a charity case, all right, guys.
Yeah.
He can make his
Don't
own
use
list.
that word. He gets
angry.
angry.
Yeah. How dare you give money to people?
It's coming for us.
Oh dear. So yeah. Well, there we go. That's quite a lot of stuff to go through, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
I think it's been
we've got a fun year of.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fun ahead. Lots of content coming up. Hopefully, we'll see other elements of the channel growing as well. And I think, guys, we're going to have a positive year. 2022 is going to be the
We're
year
going to
of
push
the
for
code.
positivity.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be good, people. I think it's going to be good. There's some money here as well for you, Jack.
Yeah, and Jack, if you come down, it doesn't count if you only go and see Dom. You have to come and see me as well. So
No, don't. It's not worth it, Jack. He won't come down for that, Tom. It's 20 quid. It's not.
you taking it off then, Jack? What are you doing with that?
Oh, no, I'm going to put it. Something a bit more noticeable. I'm just going to put it up here. You see that all right? It's up there.
As soon as the camera goes off, that's going in his wallet, guys. He
putting
can't.
toy money up there. I owe you.
Monopoly money.
Can you see that all right? I think you can see it all right. Oh, no, you can't see it. I've just that's my camera.
Oh yeah, you got cut off. I will have a look at that, by the way, again, because I think it's just going off the sides of our screens a little bit for some reason.
Yeah, look, you can just see it, Jack. It's up there.
Well,
good times.
And I see you still got more goblin stickers there, Dom. You should get that. You see that for your walls, mate.
I have. Look at all these.
Andy's door.
Andy's door, yeah. Exactly, yeah. Donating parts of my the studio. Oh no, they'll be fine. You don't need that.
Yeah. I agree with you, but you should wallpaper the house with it. Yeah, the goblin stickers.
Well, if you all use the link below and purchase something, and then send me the stickers, that'll be fine. Jack, you're more than welcome. Should come down, have a game.
Way, Jack, when he gives you the address, contact me first, and I'll just verify it is definitely his address because he's been known to pass send people to very remote.
John O'Groats. Definitely where I live.
And I'll make sure I'll give you some gift ideas when you come down for him. I know what he likes, so.
Unbelievable. Piece of work you are, right.
I do try. You can't have you shortchanging our subscribers, though.
No, exactly. I've gone up. That's 4 times as much I was giving him before.
It's a sign of
confidence,
my opinion. He's not going to come down. That's 20 quid. Yeah. Oh, don't drop it.
I won't drop it. I'm good. Already dropped enough today. Right, let's put these here. Like a massive baking tray.
Yeah, I wish I had that space when I was doing mine. I had to do it in a little bedroom. That was not fun.
No, it's just all the cleaning work on it. It's it's very time consuming.
Have you done much sawing yet, by the way, or have you just?
I did do some sawing. Not as much as I was anticipating, but I have done. I've tidied all the pieces up, so I'm just cleaning the pieces now. The only things I haven't done are the weapons. Like I said, I'm trying to do it methodically, so the weapons will come in time, but they're going to be a bit further down the line. But I want to get the legs and the lower body done, and then start moving up to the other parts.
Legs are the important bits, anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. I have kind of like dry fitted some of the bits together, and it's just brilliant. Which you guys have probably seen in that last video.
Get another one at some point.
Yeah. Just get we're just doing Titan games now. Doing Titanicus on a big
but with
scale.
full size ones, yeah. No. If I was really honest, if I was really serious about it, I would get a Reaver just for the sheer fun of it, because it would probably make me cry more.
Yeah, I love hurting myself.
And then I'd never have it in a game. But maybe I'll reward it as my reward once we've got our house.
Yeah, exactly.
Vicky won't mind. We need to
Who needs garden gnomes?
No, we need a Reaver. Peter's asking if you got brass rods for your stuff.
Brass rods.
Coat hanger, mate. That'll be fine.
I have got some rods actually. I was using for another project, so I have got them. But yeah, I've kind of looked into the doing the lower part of the body there. I've got a couple of ideas how I'm going to do it.
You doing any
I think
magnetising, by the way?
magnetizing probably on the guns. But even then, maybe. The main bit of concern I've got is the torso to the lower part of the body.
Yes.
That's going to be the part that's going to be a bit more of a challenge, I believe.
When you were talking about soaring and stuff, obviously I've got the Lucius pattern one. And
here's the base.
Oh, yeah, nice. Nice.
So that's the base. And originally, so it was in millimeters. When I thought it was centimeters, so I got a tiny version. However, I am going to be screwing this on here, and it's going to give it a bit of elevation when it comes to it. It's going to be on a ruined kind of imperial structure, because I've got lots of old bits of building which I'm going to crumple up. So that's the idea behind it. It's going to have one leg lower, one slightly higher, and so it's kind of perching up a little bit for elevation. But physically, it's still going to be crouched down a bit. I think that the Chaos Warhound sometimes looks a bit downwards, and I kind of want to put it upwards a little bit, if that makes any sense in positioning. But I've got plans, and I'm relatively confident.
Yeah, it should be good. And I said, even I've been quite tempted to have a little look at mine a little bit, but I think I'll do it after we've had our game with it.
Yeah.
Because
you don't.
I'll snap it and I'll be like, oh, well, no time for me in the old Apocalypse game. Then the first time I've got to use it properly.
Yeah. Don't. What? No Rhino or Lamb Ray. See other bases. No, I don't. I was tempted to put some cultists on the base, like running alongside it. But as for a vehicle, I know what people do. Can do it standing on a vehicle or something like that, and I'm like, nah, he's fine. He's not standing on a vehicle yet. But I kind of like the idea of the whole idea for my chaos, the 83rd is it's not just the word bearers. It's everyone that comes along with the word bearers. So it's there's sometimes a contingent of world eaters that kind of come along in. You've got the demons, you've got the knights. It's all kind of a grand union.
There you go. Sounds like you've got a good support on there, mate.
Crouching, yeah, and that's the thing with Warhound as well. You kind of, and that's if people have seen my Tyrant Knight, I try to position him to look a bit different from just your standard. I've got two guns. Here I go. And I want to add character and a bit of flair to it, rather than I'm just doing it because this is how it comes out the box. A bit like your standard dreadnought is like, ugh. So I'm just trying to add a bit of character to him, and hopefully it works out, and the plasmas aren't going to overcharge and cause me mortal wounds. Probably are going to cause me mortal wounds.
You won't get a chance to fire.
Probably not, to be honest.
Turbo laser destroyer.
I've seen how many dreadnoughts you lot have got. I'm in trouble.
He's been hopefully Dave hasn't been showing you our lists. I'll be very, very disappointed.
Just redempted dreadnoughts. Just keep buying them. Plasma loadout.
Oh God. But yeah, that's for the Apocalypse game back in April. So hopefully you'll be ready.
Yeah, I am working away on this.
Obviously, if not, no matter. I just won't bring mine.
No, it's going to be ready. Come hell or high water, that is going to get done.
Yeah, but we've got quite a few super heavies knocking about, to be fair, so it should be good fun. Nice little add-ons to the armies. There's lots of Space Marine chapters represented as well, so it should be a good laugh. And lots of Chaos Forces as well.
Yeah, we've got Death Guard, Thousand Suns, 2 World Eater host, Word Bearer host, Demons, Chaos Knights, Titan. We got enough going on. The
Imperials are basically going to be running Black Templars, Ultramarines, Red Scorpions, Space Wolves, some Knights. There might be some Assassins.
Ooh, nice. Very cool.
All Eva swords.
Very underhand.
I might even dig some of the Inquisition out. I don't know yet. I've got to be fair, when we were doing the lists, obviously the other day I've done some preliminary drafts and it's already full because there's a few players playing on each side. We set ourselves a little bit of a target and stuff. So, and Lee has put Astraganic on the Nurgling basis because I actually forgot to remind Lee. Lee did actually ask me to remind him yesterday and I forgot. So apologies for that. I got a bit tied up in the 40k game we were playing and I completely forgot after that. But good. That means you're almost there, my friend, and that means you'll have your 500 points of Nurgling.
They can join the Apocalypse game. Well done, Peter Corferon. Absolutely, 83rd, but with Corferon rather than Erebus. You know, I don't know if that's a popular decision or not. I know a lot of it splits Wordbearer fans quite a lot, and Corferon.
There is nothing wrong.
The old man
with Dreadnoughts, Mr. Blue. Okay, sorry, you can call me Iron Templar if you want, but Dreadnoughts are good.
Yeah, Mr. Blue, if you saw his showcase video, he's got a problem. It's a ridiculous amount of Dreadnoughts, but somehow it gets past the rule of 3.
Just got to measure you by different types. It's very simple.
Yeah, exactly.
I could get 2 more Venerables. I could get another Ironclad, 2 more Relic Contemptors. I assume I could actually run 3 Relic Contemptors and 3 normal Contemptors.
Yeah. Different data sheet, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 Leviathans. I get 3 DAs.
Nice.
3 Redemptors.
Insane. Insane.
And then I just need about 9 Primaris Tech Priests. Tech Marines, sorry, not Tech Priests, Jesus. To keep them all alive. But anyway.
Yeah.
I think we're about done for tonight, do you reckon?
Yeah. No, it's been good. Sorry for running late, guys, but it's been good to see you all, and hopefully you're all as excited for 2022 as we are when it comes to Black Toad.
So remember,
yeah,
check your challenges out. Have a think about it. There's no rush until next. So basically, this time next month, we're going to ask you just over the month start to put your ideas into that channel I've just created there, which was the old challenging one, which has got everything in there still. Start to put some ideas in there. Put some drawings up, take some pictures, get some ideas. Let us know what you're going to do, and it'll be fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all your work.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Excellent stuff.
So, on that note, it has been wonderful to chat to you all this evening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next stream. So, this is Tom, and this is
Tom,
and we're both from Black Toad Studio, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.